Welcome back, everybody. Youngzers, episode 39. We got the three guys in the flesh, so we're ready to roll. Talk some Buccos. Andrew, I don't know if you got anything else. Buccos talk, Steelers, maybe. I don't know.
We're
Drafts
talking.
coming up.
We're talking some Penguins.
Oh,
today.
yeah.
Talking a little Penguins.
Yes, we
yeah,
are.
we got some gripes with the Penguins, so we'll be
Gripes?
going in on them.
I don't know. But go ahead.
I think gripes mean like that's like
we'll get into it.
like,
That's fine.
well, I have gripes. I don't know
That's
if you
fine.
do. You think they did good?
The best thing they did this year was what they did after they were eliminated from the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I have gripes
That's
before
the big
that.
news.
Yeah.
I understand that. We'll get into that. What do you guys want to start here with? How you guys doing? Here, I'm going to take over for you, there, Ryan. How you guys doing today?
That's what I was gonna say. And like,
no good today. No good.
I'm doing pretty good. I mean, I had a good grocery trip today. Played a little golf, got a little sunburnt. But it was a night out on the greens, or a day out on the greens, not a night out. But woke up early, swung my club for the first time in about 8 months. Cold start. Didn't start off too good. I think we went 8-7-8, couple snowmans on the card. But after that, we had a pretty good second half. I think I had a 55 on the front and then 47 on the back. So we turned it around. I'm happy with anything 50 and below. So I expected a bad like first roundish. So nothing biggie.
Cleaned up 8 strokes there. You can't complain about that.
Yeah, it was good. My driver, I was surprised if my driver hit it well. We went with coach, so I hit like a 30-foot putt. And he's like cheering because we were on the same team at the time. And he's like, yeah, like screaming. He's like, what was that for? And I was like, 7. It's for 7. So that was fun. But it's golf season. I'm happy.
It was a tough day for me out there. So 97, 39 putts. Usually my putter is where I, get the strokes back. Couldn't do it today. 92, like I told you before we started, Dan, 92% fairways in regulation, 11% greens in regulation. Bad. Listen, this is how my day went. My first par, I drove into a bunker. I hit my bunker shot into the next bunker, and then I stuck it about a foot away on my next bunker shot.
Why can't you do it the first time?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm like, whatever. It was one of those days. Yeah. One of those days.
Been there. I also went golfing. I went Friday. Lenape Heights. No free ads. They're still trying to pay for that hotel they built. But I got a little sunburnt as well. But first time out, I haven't swung. I didn't even pick up a club since September, that last outing we were at, right?
Yeah, it's been the same as me, though.
Yeah, so it was a while. I'll tell you what, missed everything left off the tee box, which never happens for me. Slice is gone. I'm rubber stamping it right now. Slice gone. I drove the green on 8, the one that goes out and then down the hill. Yeah. And then I almost drove the green on 18. I was up there by the green side bunker, left side, just in front of it. I was on the fringe. Where I was hurt was my second shots. Yep. I had, like I told you, I had 1 3-putt and 1 4-putt. Everything else was 1s and 2s. I was draining everything. Good pace, good reads. It was just my irons didn't come to play that day. And they always say as a just amateur golfer, whatever you want to call yourself, a novice golfer, somebody who's not a professional, the guy that just goes out to have fun, you're never going to put a full round together. Whenever you do, that's whenever you have your best round of golf of your life. So I'll take it. The driver was there. The putting was there. Irons weren't there. So next time I go out, the driver ain't going to be there. The irons and the putting will be there. And then the time after that, I won't be able to get off the tee box, but I'll hit second shots great, and I'll putt everything. That's just how it is. But like I always say, bad day at golf, better than a good day at work.
Fair enough.
I'll stand by it.
Or a good day at the zoo.
Oh, I like the zoo, though. I do like the zoo.
What if you're there for, like, health reasons? That's, like, another can of worms.
Why would I go to the zoo for health reasons?
They bring, like, people to the zoo. Like, did you ever watch 600 Pound Life?
No.
They can't, like, examine the people at the hospital, so they drag them to the zoo.
No.
Yeah, they take a trip. But, like, hindsight 2020, that's, like, pretty smart on their part, because they're getting a free zoo trip.
No,
You gotta respect it.
no, because then next thing you know, you get lost in the hippo enclosure, and they think oh,
That's what I.
PPG Zoo and
Well,
Aquarium finally got a whale.
well, Andrew had to explain it to me. I thought like the people were like watching and tapping on the glass, and they brought him there. He's like, no, they're like in a back area. I was like, I thought it's like a whole new exhibit.
Yeah,
But, yeah.
I didn't know that. Good to
Yeah,
know.
that was news to me today.
Yeah.
That was news to me. But yeah, do we want to get into bucket talk, or are we still bantering a little bit about golf?
Oh, I did pull a scumbag move today on the course. Well, actually, after the round. Last year, it gets, put a little, friendly banter going on. Last year, I took some of Coach's money, $5 for the first time in my life, and that was probably the best $5 I've ever made. However, he forgot his wallet that day, so I got paid in change, a couple dollar bills in change. I didn't forget it today. Horrible round. I'm basically I'm an ATM. I'm dispensing cash left and right. I paid him back in some change. Scumbag move in the parking lot, squaring up everything. I said, here's 4 quarters, legal tender, everything public and private, for all debts. So Don't forget that. But we also have an new entrant. Sorry, I blanked out there. For the Youngzers Golf Challenge this summer. A viral YouTube star. You may know him from T Roop's Dunkfest or T Roop's Dunkfest 2 Reloaded. So we're getting some stuff more in here. Oh yeah,
That's fine. I played at a couple outings when T Roop was there, and I'll tell you what, T Roop, I'll get you your beers. You'll be trashed by the 3rd hole. Yeah, we'll take your money. But I will say that's not a scumbag move. You're just paying it forward. You're paying it back if you would. Hey, if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. If he can do it to you, why can't you do it back? So paying back in change. Hey, like you said, legal tender.
Yeah.
It's all's fair in love and war.
Yep, absolutely. So
I'm not good enough to play for money, so I was a little taken aback that I was like, yeah, it was bad around to be playing for money for me. So if I could have put it the front back.
Do you know Coach's handicap off the top of your head by chance?
5. Yeah, 5.
He's a 5 handicap. Wow.
5.7 after today, I think. Though.
Wow. Yeah. He's going to be taking some money from you guys for sure.
I'm 18, so I was like 18. I'm probably closer to maybe 19 now after today. I was
12.8 last year, so I'm trying to get single digits. I don't see it happening.
I'd be fine hitting the way I am, just like straight and accurate. That's all I want to hit.
Consistent.
Yeah. That's all I need.
You keep having nip slips.
I'm just due for one bad shot a hole.
What's that?
This is a family program.
I apologize.
We have to blur that out. We'll have to do
I shouldn't have worked. Tank.
The tank.
It's tank season, baby. It's 80 degrees the past couple days. I pressure washed the house today. Pressure washed the cars. Golfing on Friday, dude. It's in the air. I'm loving it.
Hold on.
That's why everyone's so happy. Sunlight does you good. Outdoors do you good. The fresh air does you good, and everyone just seems like in a brighter mood. Everywhere around. Everywhere I've been.
This weather is actually. I don't want to let this simmer. I want this to be brought out early on in the episode. It was perfect hauling weather yesterday.
It was. And, let me take the floor here for I want to give credit to, where credit is due. The number 1 hauler in Western Pennsylvania, undoubtedly, Andrew, thank you. You picked up that window for me and you brought it to my house. That's a number 1 hauler move there. I don't care what anybody says about it. If it's an SUV, it's a truck in my eyes. You put the dresser back there. You put a giant mirror back there. You put that window back there. Hey, and when I called you in a time of need as a hauler, you were there for me. So I appreciate it. Number 1 hauler in Western PA.
Hey, you missed me. You missed me by a couple minutes.
Hey,
I would have done it.
If you're the number 1 hauler, you should have been there.
You should be available if you're the number 1 hauler. But I made sure to roll up the windows down. Hulk Hogan's theme music blasting. So people knew, real American, rolling on in. I was just ready to haul. Dan calls me. The number 1 trait that a hauler needs is availability.
Yeah.
So
no.
yeah.
Heart. Yeah, it's the first sentence in the hauler handbook. Obviously, none of you guys read it.
Hey, all
It's
I know
heart.
is
It's heart.
Mott's got a lot of heart, a lot of stones.
You know what the second line is? No load too big.
Hey,
That's the second line. Second line.
where's availability?
Your truck says otherwise.
Yeah.
It's like the fourth line.
Oh,
It's like the best abilities availability.
exactly.
That's a quote. But not
Yeah.
the best trait. There's abilities and then there's traits.
Well, I was able to haul a dresser and a window in mine, and some say
My bed's full right now. My bed is chock full.
Some say you were ducking the hall yesterday.
That's what.
No, I had a limited amount of time. I had to get to a place and be at a place.
Got out of Dodge pretty quick when Dan rang me
Yeah,
up.
he was.
No, I was literally on the way there.
He says, and I quote, "I just left West Leechburg." Okay, you can't make a pit
I was
stop.
on my car phone. I hit the car phone.
Couldn't make a pit stop for your boy, at least get me
I'd have to
halfway,
backtrack.
Yeah,
It takes me like an hour to get there, right?
I
And then I
understand.
had.
But you
Okay.
can't claim to be the best when I like I say, and I think it's huge, and I think it's bigger, and it's above all is your availability. That's like Tristan Jory. He's not available for the playoffs, and then they lose last year. They're not even in it this year. I understand because he's not available. Hey,
That's all the segue into the Penguins, Dan.
Hey.
I love it. I love it.
Availability.
What you're saying, Ryan, is the Tristan Jory of haulers.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm the best hauler on the team in that position. Then
You have the potential to haul, but you're not available. Your hauling team's missing the playoffs. Next thing you know, your bosses are getting fired. It's a bad day. It's a sad day to be a hauler.
and then what to tell you about the team around you, though, too, hanging me out to dry.
No, what it says is your captain's over here grinding his.
But when
his
I show
ass
up,
off.
I'm the best.
He's
When I
grinding
show
his
up, I'm
ass
the
off,
best.
and he's willing his team there. And then next thing you know, he's got to worry about if this guy can play tomorrow or not. Oh, he's out with a hangnail again. Sorry.
You want to put it into picture context. Me hauling is Fleury diving across against the Red Wings to make the save to win the Stanley Cup. Ryan's hauling
I'd
ability.
haul laps around you, buddy.
Ryan's hauling ability is probably when Tristan Jarry's facing backwards from the net and letting goals in. Like, yeah, you're on the ice. You consider yourself a goalie, sure, but at the end of the day, the result just isn't. That's
what they say.
0 for 2 hauling.
If they say the loudest boos come from the cheapest seats. That's all I'm saying. Loudest boos come from the cheapest seats. The best hauler knows he's the best hauler. A lion doesn't concern himself with the opinions of sheep. The hauler doesn't concern himself with the opinions of the haulees. So,
well,
I know my ability to haul. I know my tools, my trade.
Dan?
What's that?
Have we seen him haul anything?
I physically with
That's the
my
thing.
own eyes.
Hey, I'm a humble hauler. People, grind in silence. People don't need to know when
That's
I'm hauling
fine,
or
but
how big my loads
whenever
are.
somebody on your team is asking for help, and you're going to be like Tristan Johnson,
Hey, I was away. I was away. It's easy for Andrew. Andrew would have been away, but he's free all weekend. So yeah.
There. Dan calls me. Hey, I need a window. I'm there. I'm cleaning out the car. I'm tossing clubs out.
What did I say? I said, Dan, what did I say after that? I was like, on my way home, if you need me, I'm gonna
let
me
at
know
4
if you don't
o'clock.
get it.
They close at 4, so I couldn't wait around till 5. I appreciate that offer, but I needed it right then and there, and I was like, oh, next best person. I was like, you know what? I envisioned it. A window didn't fit in the back of Ryan's truck. I know it'll fit in the back.
Or the dimensions.
I know it'll fit in the back of Mott's.
Or the dimensions.
It's 50 wide by 54 tall.
What is that? Inches?
Yes.
No, 50-50. I fitted him in the back of my.
Yeah. Semi-trailers only.
I don't know if
53
you do
feet.
metric or whatever. I don't know what system you use.
I piss red, white, and blue. Do you think I'm using a metric system? Doctor tried to
I
tell
guarantee.
me some sort
I
of-
guarantee your goofy ass wakes up and says, "I'm using metric system this one time."
No.
Like,
My goofy ass.
I can see you doing the whole military time metric system. Pulling out all the stops.
That's how it's set up at work, and I'll tell you right now, I don't want to think that I'm at work, so I don't use military time, and I don't use meters. I don't use none of that. KGs, no, I'm good.
Perfect. And speaking of
Good stuff. I'm a linear feet guy.
Speaking of work, Dan, Ron Hextall's out of work.
Yes. Thank God.
We love that.
Yes.
We love that. Single-handedly, probably drove the Pirates. I'm thinking Pirates. That's how bad that was here. Drove the Penguins down the tubes. You signed the core three to cheaper deals than they could get really anywhere else, and then you surround them with 2 lines and 3 defensive pairings. Really, once Pettersson went down, of just crap. So it was good to see him go. By all indications, everything I've read about him from the spineless. Chris Pryor's assistant GM was actually the one who wanted to do the Granlund deal, and he just said, yeah. Brian Burke, he's gone as well. I like Brian Burke. It was just a weird thing, but it's all on Hextall. I mean, the booze started coming. What did he do? Goes up to Vancouver to scout a tournament. I mean, Buddy got out of Dodge when the times got tough. Big tough guy on the ice with the Flyers. Pretty meek in the front office, as they're saying. So good riddance to them. The Fenway Sports Group, looks to be involved. They're losing money on this. The Penguins, I think, with the right people around the core, obviously can still compete. So I'm looking forward to this offseason. I think there's going to be some big changes. And it is 7:22 on Sunday, April 16th. My bold prediction, Jake Gensel gets traded this offseason.
Oh, wow, that's huge. Because he's one of them. Wait, do we have him under contract? Because there's some UFAs. Huh?
They have to extend him or trade him.
Okay, so we have some free agents coming up. Zucker's a big one. Jake's a big one. But then you look down, Dumoulin, he's up.
Get him out of here.
Yeah,
it's easier to rip off the guys that we have under contract. You got Crosby, Malkin, Letang, Raquel, Carter. Is Pettersson still under contract?
Pettersson is, Paling is,
and DeSmith.
Yeah.
So it's easier to rip off those guys, and then they'll have somewhere around $20 million in cap space. So what do you do with that? How do you fill out a bottom? Because you need a completely new bottom six, unless Jeff Carter does us a favor and just hangs it up. I don't know.
No, he wants to play.
He wants to play. You make him the fourth line center. You just get him out there in garbage time. Yeah, because you can't send him to the minors, and you can't just cut him, because then you still have to pay him, and he's on the books.
If a team's going to trade for Gensel, you somehow put in the pot with, all right, pay half his contract. We trade him, take half his salary, something like that, attach it. I don't want them to get rid of Gensel, but there's not really many ways out of the mess right now. Where you look at the players, like I think Raquel is fit in phenomenally in Pittsburgh, but it's what contracts can you move that makes sense. And I think as long as you keep the Crosby, Letang, Malkin core together, which by all indications they're going to, you kind of see the writing on the wall. I mean, Gensel's a great player. He's Crosby by far. That's his best line mate he's ever had. I want them to keep him. I think, obviously they can, but I think that's my bold prediction. I think Gensel gets traded. That's just me spitballing, and if that happens, it happens. But who else do you move? Brian Rust? I mean, he had a down year. Who's going to take him?
He did have a down year. You could have traded him last year before you extended him. Yeah. Go ahead, Ryan, and then I'm going to make a couple points.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, I wouldn't mind them trading Gensel. I'm not really attached to him, and personally, I feel like he's a little, fluffed. His play's a little fluffed, just because he plays with Crosby. A lot of his goals, empty netters, they're, easy feeds, I don't see... A guy like that, you'd say, if you're going to pay him, re-sign him, or whatever like that, you're making him, the next, franchise player.
Yeah.
And I don't see him as that leader, or, the guy that can lead the Penguins after Crosby's gone, or after, the core group's gone. So I don't know. I just feel like trade him while he's hot kind of thing. I do, I guess, agree with that. Try to get maybe a couple of players that can fill out those, bottom lines, and then just move guys up, because whoever Sid plays with, he makes everybody around him better. And it didn't look like he was slowing down by any means this year. I thought he looked phenomenal this year. He's the best player, head and shoulders above everybody else. Great year. I think the best I've seen him in, probably 2-3 years, going back to maybe the last cup run. I don't know. 2 years, you'd say?
So, no, this is only the second time in his career he's played all 82 games.
Yeah, I mean, he showed up every day.
When you get somebody like him and Malkin playing all 82 games, I know Letang had his health issues. It happens, and you hate to see it. And I'm not saying I have a soft side for Chris Letang now, but he played fine. He was fine. He was lugging the minutes too, even after coming back from having another stroke. But to see the Russian Bear out there and playing as hard as he was, I know he could get lackadaisical too, but that's his style. He's a bigger guy, but he's solid, as second line center. Crosby, I think, exceeded expectations. To maybe the novice, and somebody who doesn't watch Pittsburgh hockey, but I thought he looked 25 again. He was out there flying. He's back checking. He's playing the center position the right way. Another year, what is that, 17 with a point per game. There's only one person that has more than that, and that's Gretzky, and Gretzky has 18 seasons with a averaging a point per game. So that's good company to be in. My only thing is, what happens with Mike Sullivan? What?
I think he stays.
Well, you bring in a new GM. GMs come with coaches. You know what I mean? They want their guy. They don't want the old guy there. I understand he's a good coach. He's led us on 2 cup runs back to back. But is his style the style that's working in the NHL right now? I don't believe so. But that's my thought. They want to be young and they want to be fast, but they're the oldest team in the league right now. They have nothing down in Wilkes.
I don't even think speed's the way to go anymore. You got to be a lot more physical.
You got to be big and fast.
Yeah, that's what I was going to add.
That's what I was going to say too. You trade Gensel. Someone obviously the first line I put Crosby and Raquel together. I don't know if he'd work on Crosby's wing. Drew O'Connor. Yeah, he reminds me of Kunitz.
Yeah,
he can score a little bit. He's fast. Throws his body around. That's kind of like the Kunitz era.
He's bigger than Kunitz too. If I was going to compare him to anybody, it'd be Kevin Stevens. That power forward-esque. He's bigger. I think if he could throw his weight around a little more. He kind of looks like a pretty boy, but he needs to play that nasty kind of hockey, get in there, grind it up, muck it up. And I think
he's real young still,
He is. But I think that would be a good fit. And like we say all the time, Crosby is, otherworldly, so he makes everybody around him better. He doesn't need somebody, like a Phil Kessel on his line to produce. And I think that's why Jake Gensel has reaped those rewards. So if you're going to trade him, I'm sure you get a lot back from him, but wherever he goes, watch him decline, because he's not playing, in my eyes, with the best player in the NHL right now. I know you guys could say McDavid this, Draisaitl that, this guy, whatever. Watch Crosby play. I still think if he's not the best, top 3 in the league right now.
Yeah.
I got McKinnon. I'm not a McKinnon guy. I put him up there. But
that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's all.
But who does McKinnon play with on his line that he makes better?
Wait, are you comparing McDavid and Crosby?
Yes.
All right. So here's the thing. Here's why I'll think that the Oilers are never going to win a cup with McDavid. I think it was last year, or it was during the cup run. I'm sorry, I'm going back to Predators Pens, that face off in the defensive zone. Who'd they put on the dot? Sidney Crosby, empty net.
Yeah.
Sidney Crosby. Do you think they put McDavid on the dot? No. You know who's to be on the dot? Leon Draisaitl. I don't think McDavid's the leader. I don't think he has that.
If you want to go up and look at Edmonton and how they're structured, they paid out all this money to McDavid, so he got his. And look at their goaltending. Now look at the Pens when they were making their cup runs. Crosby took the hometown deal, kind of like a Tom Brady. I'll say
exactly. Leadership,
exactly.
Team guy quality.
I know I can make more somewhere else, or I could ask you guys, Pittsburgh Penguins, for more, but I want to win. The Oilers will never win one up there, and if they do,
and I know. I'm sorry, go ahead.
They're going to have to outscore everybody by 1 million, and I don't see it happening because they're going to run into a hot goalie out of the West.
And here's the other point I have to make. I know we're more immersed in Pittsburgh media, so I might be skewed in this direction. But how often do you hear people, former teammates of Crosby, even current ones, oh, I love playing with Sid, great guy, great leader, stuff like that. How often do you hear that about McDavid? I can't tell you, any time. You think we would have heard something like that. Like, I know we're not in the Edmonton, media kind of area, but I never hear anything about him.
No, but to your point, and to piggyback off of that, if you're the best player in the league, you would think that there would be sound bites of that and interviews of your teammates saying that, and you would see it on ESPN or NHL Now.
He's the biggest name, biggest name.
You think of McDavid. I wanted to go to the Edmonton game when they played the Pens at PPG, but I had to work. But he would have been the reason I would have went because the Pens ended up getting smacked anyway. But just to see that matchup, you're not going to see very often anymore. Just like back when the Blackhawks were dominant and the Pens were, they won their cup, but then they were rebuilding to take a couple more cup runs there later. I wanted to see them two in a final, and we'll never get to see it. And now look at Chicago.
Yeah, awesome.
Chicago is decimated, and Jonathan Taves played his last game.
It's going the complete opposite of. I thought the Penguins this year were going to look like Chicago those last few years. Like, we're going to just ride off. Our aging guys are going to be declining a lot faster, and it's completely opposite. Our old guys, like you said, old Crosby, Malkin, Letang, they're playing their asses off. They want it. Like, you can tell they have that, just that extra edge. Like, they know this is, coming to an end, and they're giving it. They're all putting it all out there. And I think it's the other guys that just need to step up a little bit. But, there are brighter spots like Zucker, I think.
He's gone. You can't resign
Pedersen.
him.
Yeah.
He wants to be back, but they don't.
I understand.
Where that it's tied up in Mikhail Granlund because that was a horrible deal.
Did you see?
That's bad because the other
quote?
GMs are laughing.
Yeah.
Zucker said he wants to come back. He'd love to play for them again. He wants to be in Pittsburgh, but it's out of his hands. And you got to understand it. You got to respect that because it's a business. It's just like any other sport. It's not this guy is stabbing you in the back. It's how do you manage your money? And this is going to bring me to this. You don't sign Jari. You don't re-sign Jari. Or if you do, maybe a year. But do you go try to get Johnny Gibson? Is that somebody you might try to trade Gensel to?
I think we need a steady vet.
Here's my thing with Johnny Gibson. He's 31 years old or 30 years old. He plays every freaking night. You can count on him. I would rather have the 30-year-old instead of the 28-year-old who's never he's sick. Oh, I thought Jory was starting tonight. No, he fractured his pinky toe or whatever. I'd rather have the guy who's going to start every night, and I think Johnny Gibson's great, but that's just me, Whitehall guy.
And if I'm the GM of the Penguins, I'm thinking the same way. I'm thinking, hey, let's get that veteran that can play every night, but we still have Jari, but he might have to play every night because who knows if Jari's going to show up, that kind of thing.
Well,
you need that guy.
We have the Smith still under contract. So do you just, hey, Jory, do you give him a 1-year prove-it deal, or do you just let him walk?
He said he wants to come back, too. He's like, I love Pittsburgh.
I understand that. And guys, it's a great organization to play for because it's kind of like the Steelers were. It's a standard. You're going to come here, you're going to compete, you're going to make the playoffs until this year. I was 14 the last time they didn't make the playoffs. That's a long time ago. I'm 30.
I wasn't even a teenager. I was 10 years old.
There you go.
10 years old.
Yeah. Wrap your mind around that. We've been blessed. I understand they fumbled and they get knocked out of the first round, but it was something to look forward to. You get some hockey into April, into May, the Pens are making another run. Oh, the Pens made it to the second round. Now we're sitting here, they missed the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, what do we do? It was that's the saddest scene I've witnessed in a while in a Penguins locker room. Sid looked just absolutely, I don't even know, bummed, decimated.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was tough scene, I hope it just lights a fire under some of those other guys that are gonna be back next year. And I can't even say that extra, 2 weeks is gonna help them out because it probably won't. They probably would have honestly, let's say, been eliminated by who? Boston first round?
No, they would have played
Toronto.
No,
Hurricanes.
Yeah, Carolina.
But yeah, I don't think it would have been a deep run to begin with. Who knows? They could have surprised some people, but the way they're playing, there's just no way in my eyes it would have happened. So I think we're just delaying the inevitable. And, at that point, we're all just hoping to keep the streak alive. You never thought it would end. It's like Lesnar at Mania.
Yeah.
That's same thing. You hate to see it end, but hey, it had to eventually. So I feel like the kind of monkey's off the back in that way, though. So next year, no expectations. No expectations.
There's expectations.
Yeah.
But we won't.
It all
I'm
depends
going
on who you bring in a GM and stuff like that, and see where this group is. You'll be able to tell even in the preseason, and in that first game, if they come out snarling, yeah. If not, they're just gonna lay over, and it's done. It's an end of an era. I hate to say it, but I don't think with the leadership you have in Crosby and Malkin and Letang, guys that have been there, come back, want to make another run, maybe go get a couple guys. I don't think they'll just roll over and die, even though they lost to the worst two teams in the NHL the last two games. How embarrassing is that? You lose to the Chicago Blackhawks that have lost 11 of the last 12 on fan appreciation night, and your season's on the line there. How embarrassing
and it wasn't even
is that?
close.
No.
Columbus, though. Columbus needed to lose that game to have, a way better chance of getting Connor.
Yeah. Bedard, yeah.
And you won that, which was like, okay, you screwed yourselves. Congratulations.
Their GM told Borky, I hope we don't win. And they went out and won.
I feel like that's just to spite, you don't want us to win. But as a coach, you want to get that better draft spot too. Yeah.
There were over half their roster was AHL guys.
Yeah.
You lose to Johnny Hockey and a bunch of AHL guys.
And here's a hypothetical for you guys. Do we think I'm in kind of the boat where I think that all Pittsburgh sports teams are in the same, timeline right now. We're all like banking on the offseason to see how it goes. Steelers, offseason, see how it goes.
No, the Steelers are on the upswing.
Yeah.
Pirates are kind of like, all right. The Penguins.
So the Pens are up here, right? Because their age and stuff, and they're teetering on the edge. The Stellars are coming up. They're not, they're making the climb, and the Buccos are right behind the Steelers. I think they're about the same. And the Pens, if they make the right moves, can stay and prolong that upswing. But if they can't, they're on their way back down.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know it's a long baseball season, obviously. But are we looking at a year where the Pirates are the best team in Pittsburgh?
No.
Ooh, that's a great question. It really
is. Honestly, because, if they keep playing like this, I honestly believe it's a long season. The wheels fall off. But I'm just saying, they keep playing like they are. Cruz comes back a little early.
He's not coming back to August.
Yeah.
Who knows? I'm hypothetical situation.
So the only way I see that is if the Steelers absolutely lay an egg, and I don't see that happening because the more and more I talk to a guy at work, Tommy Scott, he's a huge Steeler fan. We were talking AFC North football. Who in the AFC North scares you besides the Bengals? But they're decimated, really, because their offensive line is no better. Joe Mixon, who knows what's happening with him? T. Higgins, is he going to stay because they're going to have to pay Jamar Chase, all that. And then you look at Baltimore. Where's Lamar? Are they paying Lamar? What's going on there?
They paid OBJ, but not Lamar.
then you look at the Browns, and I'm sorry, and he's like, well, what about Deshaun having a full year? I don't care. The Browns are the Browns. They don't scare me, never have. They might, they beat the Steelers, but I'm going in there and I'll bet the house that the Steelers will sweep them. That's just me. So where are you scared for the Steeler season? That's the only way I see them having a better year than.
Oh, I was basing it off like this calendar year, or like
so you meant like last year.
Yeah. So like the Steelers are what 500-ish, fringe playoffs. So I mean, we could count this year too.
No, if you say that for the Buccos, though, they're 500-ish fringe playoffs. You're ecstatic, right?
Yeah, that's the best.
I would say yes. I would say they would be having the best season. Yes.
But you gotta give lenience more to the Pirates. In my eyes, you gotta give more lenience to the Pirates than the Steelers, maybe too, because the Pirates are always in the the doldrums kind of.
I don't give Bob Nutting the benefit of the doubt.
And it's a longer season. It's harder to go 500 in baseball. It's a long season. You're playing like every day. The Pirates haven't had a break, and they won't have one until like April 20-something. So, it's a longer season. football's 18 games. I don't think what are the words I'm looking for? I feel like more anything can happen in baseball than football.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel the same way?
Yeah, because
usually there's more favorites in football than
because if you look at it, they say you can't lose a pennant in May, right? But you can but you can lose your playoff spot in September if you're
in the NFL.
an NFL team because
the Steelers did.
Right. So they're it's hard to compare those two, but I understand what you're saying. And I would say if the Buccos would have a comparable season, like around 500, maybe on the fringe, in the hunt, as they say, for the playoffs, I would say that that's a better season than the Steelers because they've been down for how long? They've been down since 2013, 2014.
And that's another thing. The Penguins were in the hunt for the playoffs, and that's just the standard we hold them to. So, like, we're calling that a big loss for the Penguins, but we're calling that a win for the Pirates.
Well, here's the thing with the Pens, and Andrew, correct me if I'm wrong. They've had playoff berths locked up for months with many games left, and this is the first time in years that we were like
down to the wire.
Yeah. So yes, I think that's a big loss. Do you agree?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I agree.
Yeah, but. Yeah, I mean, it's a weird time in Pittsburgh, obviously, with the Penguins downhill. The Pirates have been playing all right. The Steelers, not much on them, honestly, this week. Couple weeks till the draft, they signed a standout special teamer, Tanner Muse. They signed another punter. So, listen, nothing gets the juices flowing like a punter battle in training camp. I love it. Dan. Come on,
no.
Yeah.
See, that's a fumble and a half. They should have never drafted a punter, but I'll be tuning in to see the Pompiani reporting on that. Who's winning the punt?
St. Vincent, sweating at St. Vincent. But here's my bold prediction: within the next week, it's been a little quiet. A little too quiet. I feel like the Steelers are going to make some kind of splash this week. I don't know. I have it feeling in my lumps somewhere.
Lamar Jack. He's coming.
Yeah. Are they going to trade up? They might trade up. Something like I don't know. It's just been weirdly quiet.
They'll be drafted if that happens, though.
I don't know.
What do you really need to reach up there for? Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like it's been a little quiet. Do you ever get that feeling when your team, you don't see much coming out of their camp, Drafts coming up and, you're not seeing even any little draft tweets from them or something like that. I don't know. It's just been a little quiet. You get a feeling, when your knee starts to hurt and the rain's coming. I kind of feel that.
Do you?
Yeah.
It'd be your ankle, though. Both of yous.
No, I'm all good now. Swelling's gone. I've been playing for weeks.
It's my wrist.
But yeah. I got dates circled on the calendar for the Steelers season. Draft.
Mm-hmm.
Spring, what is it, OTAs or whatever, they have those going.
Rookie ball.
I don't care watching Kenny Pickett. I don't care who they draft watching them. I want to watch the punter battle, and if they want me, I would pay money. You put Edmund Nelson back there after eating a rack of ribs, greased up hands. I want him fielding those punts. I would pay.
No, I'd shag some.
I would pay pay-per-view money. See, I loved Edmund Nelson on KDKA. And I've said it before. I'll say it again. It's a damn shame he's not on there. I loved Edmund Nelson. He was, you hear that, you knew, all right, it's preseason football. He's on there. It was like
Ribfest. You could smell it. Yeah. You could smell it through your TV. You knew.
Oh yeah,
regatta.
Got a regatta.
we should head down to the regatta this year. I have no clue what they do down there other than hang out by boats. But
the kid that broke his back at the regatta.
Is that where they do that thing where they fly off and see how far their boats can go?
No,
that's just some stunt. I need to look up who it is. I'm gonna have to dig.
I thought that was where they rode off that ramp and they tried to see who could fly the farthest.
No, that's something.
That's not the regatta, is it?
The regatta is just boat races.
In the Allegheny?
Yeah. You've ever gone down the regatta?
I told you I have no clue what it is. I just like saying the name. Do you go?
I've been.
I've been. Do you get like splashed when they turn or anything? Is there like a little splash zone? Dude, I ain't going anywhere, any water event that doesn't have a splash zone. That's amateur.
Dave Crowley. It was Dave Crowley. You remember him from KDK?
Yeah.
That guy looked like a mummy.
And I think you're thinking of Don Cannon, if I'm not mistaken. Crowley, who wore a life vest and helmet, landed on his face and front in 2017 at the Red Bull Flugtag event. He suffered injuries.
Flugtagen.
Is that what I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
We need to do that. I'll construct our mechanism. We'll be the farthest in flight.
I shouldn't be laughing at this, but Dave Crowley's quote was, "I looked down and thought, well, this is gonna hurt."
No shit.
Yeah. That's gotta be a bad way to break your back. Like people
no, he didn't break his whole
front
chest and
his front.
His front.
Yeah,
you can break your front.
Yeah, sternum.
Broke his diaphragm. Had to get a spleen removed. Like Buddy was going through the ringer. Traumatic.
Who breaks their front?
Listen, he did a belly smack in Allegheny.
That's the first time I've ever heard that. I heard people breaking their backs, but I've never heard of someone, breaking their front. Like, in what world do you do that? Just get out of bed and go out and break your front, like turtle or something. Like, do you ever learn, did you ever play crack the egg on the trampoline? Do that, or pop the kernel, or what's it called? Pop the kernel.
Yeah.
Yeah, just curl up in a ball. Come on, man. Do you ever not do shelter in place in school and they're warning you about the tornadoes? Yeah, do that.
But I mean, he's
not want to help. Let's be honest.
He's on the Flugtag event. Next thing you know, he's doing a belly smack. Or he's got the Leechburg pull off the high dive. Like, buddy, you can't be just doing that. And
how did he not drown? He broke his front. Did someone drag him out?
Life vest and stuff on.
So he's just floating with a broken front, like in the Allegheny.
Yeah.
Can you stop saying he broke his front, please?
Dude, I've never heard anyone break their front in the Allegheny and then just be floating there lifeless.
You just heard it.
What a loser. That guy's a loser for that.
Yeah. A Pittsburgh legend. You watch your mouth.
Yeah.
I don't care. If you break your front, certified loser.
You put some respect on it.
Yeah. No.
If I ever feel a moment where I'm about to break my front, I'm turning around.
Stop saying you broke your front.
Listen. You don't slander Dave Crowley, but do you know what I'm going to do here? And, Dan, I don't think you're going to like this. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you.
Okay.
I'm throwing a challenge flag at myself, and my opinion is being overturned. The Iron City Turners combo mid. I'm going back on it. I had one the other day. I shouldn't have to put it into a mug. I shouldn't have to ice it to get that optimum taste, And at the end, I finished it and I said, it's a twisted tea. That's all it is.
No, it's way better than twisted tea because twisted tea is just too sugary. It's too sweet.
I mean, but it's that vibe. I can't get.
I have a proclamation. Blind taste test. We'll get one twisted tea and one Turner's Iron City.
For me?
Yep.
Yeah. I'll tell the difference. Yeah, I'll tell the difference. Yes.
You sure?
Yes.
But yeah.
We'll do it live. Yes.
Gonna do $5 on it?
I'll do a $5 on it.
$5 on
it?
All right.
We'll do it live. Nothing? We'll do it live.
We'll need Amanda to administer the, at least, impartial party.
Okay.
Something.
Yeah.
No, I think we need to do this at a neutral site. This has to be like a away game for both parties.
That's fine.
I'm doing the testing too. I don't trust anything Dan's gonna try to pull.
No, that's fine.
He's gonna do some placebo
no.
2 cups.
I won't even touch it. You just put it to my mouth. Like, have you guys ever seen Good Mythical Morning? You know what Good Mythical Morning is?
I know the guys, but I've never watched it.
But they'll taste test stuff, but they never touch it, so they can't feel it, and they try to figure out what's like store bought, what's gourmet, what's it, and they'll try like 5 different items that are the same item, but like from 5 different places. So that's fine. If you put it to my lips, I'll drink it. I'll have my hands behind my back, and I'll tell you which one's.
I think we all should do it too, just so we all get an honest opinion.
That's fine.
Just so So we'll have the expert opinion, which is you.
That's fine.
And then have like 2 plus. Should we add like a placebo in too? Like throw like something else in there.
I'm sure like Mike's makes a hard iced tea.
Yeah,
Arnold
we should throw like
Palmer
a spiked,
something like that.
But No,
Yeah.
Where do you do that? Because I'm ranking it 6 out of 10. If it wasn't Turner's, I think the hype wouldn't be there. I'll be honest. Which
Well,
I mean,
obviously. I mean, that's just
all I'm saying
obvious.
is it doesn't taste anything like a Twisted Tea. You get that iron in you, iron heavy.
You think it tastes like an iron? You think it tastes like an Iron City too?
You get more of the iron than anything, yeah, and it's awesome.
Really?
Oh, I love it.
Have you had one?
Yes, I had one.
Where'd you get one?
Golfing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had them at Lenape.
Yeah. Because Rio was like, "Oh, I'm trying to find it. I want the Sheets." I was like, "Well, Sheets isn't partnered with Turner's." He's like, "Well, they're partnered with Iron City." I was like, "Check in the fridge. I'm sure that they have them here." And they did. They had a 6-pack. I was like, "Get a 6-pack. I'll drink them." What if I don't like them? I was like, "All right, get 4 of them, and then get whatever else you want." So he bought me 4. I only have 1 of them though. He ended up drinking 2 of them.
I've yet to try them. I had a simple one,
and I didn't like it. Like I guess all right, it's refreshing, but I'm not giving it like the 10 out of 10. Like,
you know what? Here, and I hate that I had to do this. That's a blue collar drink. You don't touch it, you white collar son of a bitch.
Turner's tea.
Yeah.
Turner's iced tea. Get the hell out of here.
Blue collar. That's right. I got my hard
It's a
hat
malt
on.
beverage.
Got my lunch pail in hand. First one in, last one out.
You stick. Listen, you stick to your tea. I'll just have the regular Iron City with the other guys. All right, how about that?
No, the iron. No.
Dan, do you want to start this?
I don't think you want to start this, bud.
I don't think you want to start it.
You go have your icy light mango. That's for you white collar folk.
I like mango. I like mango.
Yeah.
No. I'm not gonna get in an argument with a blue collar guy that couldn't haul a window Saturday, and I'll go there.
I had 3 in the back of my car.
To me?
You know that. I had 3 in the back of my car.
That is not an important detail. All right, not an important detail in this conversation.
As the resident pinnacle of health here, I'll tell you 2 things I ain't touching: a mango and a peach. You can keep those the hell away from me. So don't put that mango on me.
Yeah,
I just gotta get that off.
You went involved in this.
I feel like you're pointing at me when you said mango. I just want to know. I'm not a mango guy. I'm not a mango guy.
But
don't accuse me of being a mango guy.
You too.
I ain't eating no mangoes. I'll tell you that.
You catch
not
me
on my worst day.
Yeah, it's a Yingling or an Iron City. That's all I'm saying.
See, I can't drink Yingling. They're too heavy. It's like a 12-course meal. I want to drink.
It's like you're having some wings.
Yeah, that's
it rhymes with wings. Wings. I don't know. I'm not going to say opinion on it because I've only had a sip. I'll stay unbiased until the taste test.
And like I said, we'll live stream it.
Yeah,
in front
for
of
tens of hundreds of viewers,
millions and
tens
millions.
of hundreds. No, tens of hundreds. But yeah, that should be fun. I need to find like a good placebo or 2. We'll do that like little box thing with like the straws, like it, you know.
Like I said, you just do like an Arnold Palmer Spike, and then do like, I'll brew some sweet tea and bring it down. That'll be the
homemade.
Yeah,
that might be the best one.
Yeah, it probably.
Do you do like the best kind? How do you make yours? Do you use that thing like the big gallon at the pump?
No. I just boil it on the stove. My tea maker broke years ago. I used to have a Mr. T.
The best lemonade,
Mr. Ice, something like that.
The country, what's the lemonade? Country something lemonade? You know,
country
like the cylinder.
Country time.
Yeah, and then you put the thing and go like that. And that's the best one. I need to get like one of those. What do they call them? Lemonade makers? Is that like a pitcher?
That's just lemonade maker. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like a special one. It has like the thing that goes up and down on the inside, and you like pump it.
I've never seen one of those.
And you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So the best sweet tea I've ever had was my grandmother used to make sun tea. So she would take tea bags and put them in this big glass pitcher that had a little spout on the bottom. And then she'd sit it out in the sun and it would brew. She'd let it sit out there like 8 hours.
To the sun.
Oh, yeah, sun tea. And then she'd bring it in and she'd put a little bit of sugar in the cup and then some ice and just a squirt of honey, just a squirt. And it was the greatest tea I've ever had. And I'd always say, Graham, where's the sun tea? And she, it's in the fridge. Oh, yeah. Graham.
Do you know why it's probably good?
I have no idea.
Was it like harvesting the power of the sun? And like, who else thinks of that?
Yeah,
You know?
she used to make sun tea all the time. I'd drive past because they live up there on 66, right there on the left. And I'd be like, "Oh, Graham's making sun tea." I haven't had it in years.
Did you see it like out there?
Oh yeah, she would just
You
have it
drove
out
by?
there. Yeah, she
See the
used-
picture out?
Yep. It was a
You
glass
like
one. It was
pull up to the
glass,
side,
yeah.
like go up and like sick.
I'd be
like,
"Oh,
like
Graham."
a sip or
Oh
two.
no, because you could see it. I'd be like, "Oh, she just set that out there. It's not brewed yet."
Sun didn't do its work.
Not yet.
Sun didn't show up.
Yeah.
Didn't clock in yet. I'm gonna start like using the sun just to do stuff and see like if it works or not.
Why
like
not?
start brewing. But yeah, that's Penguins talk, right?
That's everything talk. I mean,
Yeah.
let's get. I'm anticipating your Jag of the week. Who had
Me?
said they had a good one? Yeah, someone said they had a good one this week, right?
I had like a funny story. I don't know who the Jag would be. I think it would be like a maybe friendly fire Jag on myself. So Dan, this is kind of your fault. Well, not like your fault, but you're guilty by association.
Okay.
The Giant Eagle trip was involved. It's actually pretty funny. So at the end of my trip, I go like left to right, like I'm reading a book in Giant Eagle, like anyone should do. Because if you don't do that, you're an idiot. So you start in like the produce and you end in the dairy if you're a normal person. So you know what's at the end of the dairy section, right? Giant Eagle. Yeah, so I looked in there a little bit. I was like, hey, I'm a little thirsty right now. And I was, because we just went golfing. I didn't have anything to eat or drink. And they had like fruit punch in there. So I was like, oh, I like fruit punch. So I grabbed that. And I had it like with my groceries, but off to the side because I was drinking this like the car. You know that little situation where you get some at the grocery store, but you like want to eat it in the car and not wait till you get home. So that's what I was doing with it. So anyway, I load. At this point, I'm self-checked out. Like, I'm out of here. Groceries are in the car. And at this point, I have cart in one hand, drink in other hand. And I'm taking my cart back to the thing. And this lady goes, can I have that? And I'm like, no. And I was like, I just bought this. She's talking about the cart. And I'm like, thinking she wants my drink. And I was like, I just got this. I can take a sip yet. She's like, no, can I have your card? I was like, yeah, here you go. So I'm like looking like a Jag thing. This lady wants like my drink.
So
I'm like, it's all your fault.
How am I
You
guilty?
planted the idea in my head. I was like, oh, Dan would be proud that I drank some like Turners today.
Yeah.
So that was my thought process, but it turned out to backfire on.
It's my fault you told a lady she couldn't have your drink whenever she wanted your card.
Because I had it in one hand. I like looked down and I was like, this isn't even open yet. No. That's what I said. I was like a little peeved. And it was just like this sweet lady just wanted my cart. Didn't want to like take an extra 2 steps.
Yeah, you're a Jag.
Yeah. Yeah. Live and learn.
Yeah.
I don't have one this week unless you're gonna count my 3 putting today. Big Jag move there, but yeah, I was pretty laying low this week. Just relaxing. So yeah.
I did get an Altoona Curve hat. You see that?
I like it.
Pirate supporter. I'm a big maroon guy.
Yeah. I don't have one either. Rio, I don't think did anything too egregious on Friday, which I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have one. I try to stay away from the general population.
So that means next week we're all gonna have one, right?
Oh yeah, we're gonna have some bangers.
I'm gonna go looking for one. Like I'm gonna be searching all week, like high and low. Like I'll be going to like corners of buildings that I usually don't go to. Just looking for like people in the shadows. Probably doing stuff they shouldn't be doing.
Yes, sir. Well, hey, good talk today, boys. Good talk today.
Some good banter.
Yeah, I was happy to get the #1 hauler.
Don't care. I don't need people to tell me I'm a good hauler.
Pats on back. Pats on back.
Thank you.
Yep.
I'm gonna try to make a signature lemonade now. I think that's what's on my mind. It's like a brew of lemonade.
Just a lemonade, not just any kind of beverage.
No, just like a good lemonade.
I haven't had
a limeade.
Ooh, I haven't had a good lemonade or limeade in a long time. It's been a while.
Big
limeade's good. You know what I used to do? We had like these lime popsicles, and I'd let them melt down and drink it, but it didn't hit the same.
No.
You get those Arctic Rush from like DQ. The lime ones are good.
Never had one.
Yeah, they're good.
I'll have to try it out.
Need a good lime drink. I don't know if they have them anymore. DQ's kind of went soft on us.
Talking to me, Fokker?
Yeah. I'm trying to hit my New Year's resolution of 1 blizzard per week, too. I already told you about this earlier, but I haven't hit it once yet. I'm just trying to take the plunge. There's no flavors that entice me. The Jurassic Chomp's nowhere to be found. There's no movies coming out soon.
S'mores is out, dude.
Call it right
S'mores,
now.
I don't get out of bed for s'mores. What?
Said I don't want to hear about the Jurassic Chomp. Call it right now.
Yeah, whatever. Jurassic Chomp D's. But yeah, that's Youngzers episode 39. Thank you for subscribing. We're almost at 300, so that's pretty decent for our goal for the year 5. So we're shooting for the stars, or no, we're shooting for the moon.
Mm-hmm.
And doesn't matter where we land because we'll be among the stars, right? That's the quote.
Yeah, unless our shit explodes, or something. We could just go down in a ball of fire. Who knows?
We could make
Either way, we'll end up in the librarian's treasure chest. But that's a story for another day. So, yep, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. So, keep an eye out for our taste test stuff.